Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on, everybody? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you with your Monday Night Raw review on Monday, July 6th, 2020. It was actually a pretty decent show tonight for Monday Night Raw. I'm not going to lie. I have a lot of questions to ask, and I feel like that's a good thing after this episode of Raw. But I want to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not alone again. I am here with a guest. He is a very good supporter of the Big Fight Field channel from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Big fan of Impact Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you, my friend, Tim Stiefvater. What's going on, Tim? How are you?
I'm doing well. Nice to be on.
Yep, thank you for being on tonight. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw tonight, July 6th, 2 weeks before Extreme Rules. What did you think of tonight's Monday Night Raw episode?
Honestly, like you said, it was a decent show. It was surprised to see Heath Slater on, which, I think caught everyone by surprise, being that he was released. And just the feud, part of the feud between him and Drew and Dolph Ziggler. It was a good opening show. That promo was definitely good.
That was
disappointed that they didn't let him get maybe a 10-minute match in there, but it is what it is.
Yeah, he did. I was shocked when Dolph Ziggler brought out Heath Slater. He was actually like, we might as well dive right into the show right here. So the show opened up with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre came out, and he was just like, Ziggler, I want you to come out. You were supposed to pick the stipulation. So Dolph Ziggler comes out. He says, I'm not going to reveal the stipulation until Extreme Rules, the horror show. So I want to keep Drew McIntyre waiting. I actually think it's a smart thing that Dolph, in this case, is making Drew McIntyre wait. What do you think about this?
I think it's a smart thing, too. We always get the stipulations right away. For example, for Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt, it's a swap match.
Yes.
I think it's perfect for the feud. I think I said when Dolph was first announced as the challenger for a title, I was like, there should have been at least a number one contenders match at least.
Yeah.
But just the wait now it's a perfect. Maybe just announce it at Extreme Rules.
I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, so that's what I think is going to happen. So then Dolph came out, and then he was like, for that WWE Championship, all you've done is backstab and turn your people on people's backs. And I actually brung out somebody who you stabbed in the back, and he brung out Heath Slater. And I was stunned by this. I was shocked. I did not expect this to happen whatsoever. Then, Heath Slater cuts the promo of his life. This promo cut by Heath Slater was awesome. What'd you think of this promo cut by Heath Slater tonight in his mini return to the WWE?
Heath Slater's promo was deep. This is deep. We needed this Heath Slater when he was in WWE, not the goofy, himself. But you know how it is. But that was very, very deep. I loved it. It was just a really good promo altogether.
Yes, I would have to agree. And then at the end, he starts pushing and shoving Drew McIntyre. He wants to fight McIntyre's just like, I don't want to fight you. So then Heath slaps McIntyre in the face, and then McIntyre says, all right, you got your fight. So then we get right into McIntyre and Heath Slater right after commercial, and McIntyre beats Heath Slater in 15 seconds. Then Dolph attacks Heath. Drew McIntyre comes out to get Ziggler away, and McIntyre and Heath Slater hug. I did not like the fact that they trashed Heath Slater in a 15-second match against Drew McIntyre tonight. What do you think?
I didn't like it either. I thought it should have at least gone maybe 10 minutes. You could have at least got 10 minutes out of that. But 15 seconds, that really didn't sit well with me. But, I guess it was a one-time thing, and you knew something like that was bound to happen.
Yeah. It's just very unfortunate that they brought back Heath Slater. It's nice that he was back, but to him to get squashed in 15 seconds, that didn't really sit good with me. But I mean, for Heath Slater's future, I see him going to Impact Wrestling and teaming up with Rhino. What do you think?
Oh, I totally agree with you. And we never know you don't know what's gonna happen at Slammiversary. They keep pushing the Good Brothers. You had the Rhino even saying, my partner got kids.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know. We'll have to wait till July 18th for that to see what happens.
I don't watch Impact Wrestling every single week, but I'm hearing good things from Slammiversary, so I might actually have to tune into that show on July 18th. I believe that's the day before Extreme Rules. Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct, sir.
Yep, you got it. So then after this, we got a mini promo from Sasha Banks and Bayley. Sasha called Bayley 3 brands, and Sasha 3 shows. They talk about how they don't sleep and they go to every brand: Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Then Asuka comes out and she says she's not alone. And out comes Kairi Sane. And we get Sasha Banks versus Kairi Sane. So nothing much coming out of the promo there. But Sasha Banks and Kairi Sane was a very good match. Great back and forth. At the end, Bayley did cause a DQ, and then Asuka got in there as well. And I was actually a little confused that Kairi Sane came out, because I actually thought that her contract is up and she was done with the WWE. But this was maybe her final singles match in the WWE versus Sasha Banks, and it was a damn good singles match in my opinion. What do you think about this?
Well, if it is, then I'm glad it was against Sasha Banks. But I've been seeing on Twitter that, they might have another deal for her that might be good for her. But we'll see. I mean, since we'll get later into the show on what's going to happen next week on Raw.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. We'll probably get to that with the closing match of the night. But as for Sasha and Kairi, this was a good match. You got 2 of the best women's wrestlers in the world, in my opinion, even though WWE has mishandled Kairi Sane terribly in her main roster run. But still, 2 of the best singles wrestlers, women's wrestlers in the world, in Sasha Banks and Kairi Sane, and they gave you a pretty fun match here tonight on Raw. The Kevin Owens show with Kevin Owens next. His guest was Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins came out and he was like, "How's your ankle from WrestleMania?" Kevin Owens said it's been doing good. It's worth it since I put you down at WrestleMania. So we got them talking about WrestleMania, and then they transitioned into the Rey Mysterio stuff. And before all this, Rollins and Murphy actually took out Aleister Black backstage, and then Rey Mysterio came out during the promo, and Owens wanted to side with Rey Mysterio. We get a tag team match with Rollins and Murphy versus Owens and Rey Mysterio, and the winning team gets to choose the stipulation. Pretty solid KO show, not bad, pretty decent. What'd you think about the KO show?
The KO show, it's your typical Kevin Owens show. Kevin Owens basically saying, I don't like this. I don't like Seth Rollins because we had our issues in the past, but
yeah.
He invites him anyways. And Kevin Owens, I like Kevin Owens. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I just want more. I just wish it didn't reduce to him being that tag
You didn't like the fact that he was in the tag team match with Mysterio tonight?
No, I did, but like I kind of want to see him do more. And, like, I want
Okay.
to like at least get him for another title run.
Oh,
If
yeah.
that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Yeah,
didn't like that he's stuck in this feud with Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins.
I totally
The same
agree
way
with
with
you,
Aleister
Sam.
Black.
Yeah, I agree with you. Kevin Owens, in my opinion, could easily be the WWE champion, and so could Aleister Black. I was actually thinking, at SummerSlam, if it was my decision, I would have Drew McIntyre defend the WWE Championship against Aleister Black. That's a match that many people want to see, in my opinion, Tim.
Oh, I totally agree with you. I want to see that match too. That would be a tough physical match. It'd be like them in their NXT days. You know, Drew McIntyre and Aleister Black. I want to see that Aleister Black. The
Yeah,
NXT Aleister Black.
I agree. That NXT Aleister Black was special, in my opinion. My favorite Aleister Black match in NXT is his match with Johnny Gargano at War Games 2. That was an absolute classic, in my opinion.
Oh, that was definitely a classic. There's no doubt in my mind.
That was, and then if you had to put another one up there, I would go with his match with the Velveteen Dream at the first War Games. So the two first War Games were my favorite Aleister Black matches ever, in my opinion.
Well, definitely, his match with Velveteen Dream was very, very special. I mean, it was really special because they both brought out the what's special about them out of each other. And it was just a good match.
Yeah, very good match. But we're getting a little off track here. It's all right.
Sorry.
No, we're good. I like talking a little NXT. Going back to 2018, which was probably my favorite year of NXT, to be honest. But Rey Mysterio versus Kevin Owens defeated Rollins and Murphy. This came when Dominic, Rey Mysterio's son, blinded Murphy. Aleister Black came out. Rollins begged Black to hit him, so Rollins got on his knees in front of Aleister Black. Owens took out Rollins, shoved him to the plexiglass. 619. Rey Mysterio defeated, and Owens defeated Rollins and Murphy. Again, this was a fun tag team match, but in the beginning, when I said I had more questions than I did answers, I have a lot of questions from this one, because then Rey Mysterio got on the microphone and said that at Extreme Rules, the horror show, he wants to rip Seth Rollins' eye out with his bare hands, and he wants an eye for an eye at Extreme Rules. And I do not know what to think of this, so I want you to give your thoughts on this one first.
I think we're going to go back to, I think, remember they did tables, ladders, chairs, and steps. Remember that stipulation was added on the stipulation of the pay-per-view.
Wasn't that with
I think it was, yeah.
Wasn't that with Big Show and Eric Rowan?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember now. So you think it's something similar to that?
I believe so. Like something similar, but different. Like using how he gouged his eye out with the steps. I think that's what it's gonna be an Extreme Rules match, but I guess first eye to bleed, maybe.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I was confused. Like, what's an eye for an eye match? How do you have to win the match? At first, maybe I was thinking the first way you have to win is you have to make your opponent blind. That's what I heard on today's Wrestling Observer. And then I was thinking maybe a singles match, and the winner gets to dig the opponent's eye into the steel steps. I have no idea what to think of this, but I do think Seth Rollins is coming out with this one on top, considering the fact that what I heard about Rey Mysterio today is that his contract is up. He is working without a WWE contract right now. And what do you think about this whole Rey Mysterio situation? And where could this lead to with this storyline with Seth Rollins in the match at Extreme Rules?
I could see this as Rey Mysterio's final, maybe WWE match. I guess he just wanted to finish the storyline with Seth, and could possibly just lead it, maybe him retiring or possibly going somewhere else.
Yeah. I honestly could see him retiring. He's 45 years old. He might not want to do this anymore. He might not want to go outside of WWE. And imagine if Rey Mysterio does go to AEW and he leaves Dominic in WWE. WWE sometimes can be very petty, so if Rey Mysterio went to AEW, WWE could take it out on Dominic and kind of bury him if they want to, and I don't want that to happen for Dominic, so I don't see Rey Mysterio going to AEW. What about you?
I would have to agree with you. If he would, like you said, if he would go to AEW and Dominic stayed, they would bury him.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to see that happen to the kid rising up into wrestling like Dominic.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. We don't want to see Dominic at such a young age get buried just because his father went over to the competition in AEW. So we got Mysterio and Rollins at Extreme Rules, eye for an eye. That's something to watch. I have no idea what's going to happen there, but you got me. You got me with that one. So Lashley and MVP then came out. They revealed the brand new United States Championship, which was a spoiler today. They revealed the championship, and I'm not going to lie, the championship looks pretty damn good, in my opinion. What do you think?
And I agree. I like it. It's different. I mean, yes, the old U.S. title will have history. There's no question.
Absolutely.
I mean, it goes back to WCW. That will always be history. And then when they brought it back in 2002 with that design, it'll be never replaced. But the new title, it looks good.
Yeah.
But I have an issue.
What's your issue?
I remember seeing, why not have Apollo Crews be there?
Yes. That I tweeted that out. I was like, he's your United States champion. Why is he not revealing the United States Championship? And MVP and Lashley is. I tweeted that exact same thing out.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, and I was, and why you couldn't unveil that at Extreme Rules? That would have been so much better than unveiling it on Monday Night Raw without your champion.
I would have to agree there. And then it got official that it would be MVP versus Apollo Crews for the United States Championship at Extreme Rules. And again, I did not know how to feel about this one since they're trying to build up Bobby Lashley. So I'm not really a fan of MVP getting this match with Apollo Crews. But eventually, Apollo Crews is probably going to get the rub from MVP at Extreme Rules. What do you think about this?
Oh, yeah, I think that's, like you said, it should be building around Bobby, but yet they're doing MVP versus Apollo. I think they're saving that match for SummerSlam.
After tonight, yeah.
And, it feels like, I mean, it might get the rub, like, MVP's trying to build up him as a star. That's why he's in this match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. More than likely, Apollo will retain at Extreme Rules, and at SummerSlam, we will get Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews, which is actually a match I want to see. I think those two guys can have a very good match at SummerSlam. And before we get to the tag team match with MVP and Lashley versus Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, In my opinion, I don't know about you, but this new pairing between MVP and Bobby Lashley has been very good on Monday Night Raw in the past couple weeks.
Oh, I totally agree. We have seen Bobby Lashley having basically doing nothing since he came back to WWE. And once MVP started showing up more, we've been seeing the real Bobby Lashley. I mean, we're talking Impact Wrestling Bobby Lashley, in my opinion.
Yes. The dominant Bobby Lashley that we wanted since he came into 2018. Not the Bobby Lashley we saw feuding with Rusev at the end of 2019.
That's still a bad taste in my mouth.
I feel you, dude. I feel you. That feud. Don't get flashbacks. Anyway, MVP and Bobby Lashley versus Ricochet and Cedric. This was okay. This was fun. A little offense from Ricochet and Cedric, and at the end, Bobby Lashley, I believe, put Cedric or speared Ricochet, one of those things, and Bobby Lashley got the win, and then he put Ricochet in the full Nelson for him and MVP to get the win here. And then backstage earlier, we see MVP talking to Cedric Alexander and wanting him to join MVP and Bobby Lashley. And in my opinion, Cedric Alexander could really use MVP and Bobby Lashley. And I would like to see Cedric Alexander join MVP and Bobby Lashley. What do you think about this?
Oh, I totally agree. Cedric Alexander reminds me of Kenny King, if you remember from that faction that he was in Impact with MVP and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
He has the talent. Cedric Alexander has that talent to be a big star. When he came in that Cruiserweight Classic, he was a star. And he just as on the main roster, he has not found his footing, in my opinion. But if he joins MVP and Bobby Lashley, I would definitely support this, and he would definitely be a huge member of the group.
I would have to agree that maybe we could get a bigger spotlight on Cedric because Paul Heyman, Cedric was one of Paul Heyman's guys. It's Paul Heyman wanted to push Cedric. It's just, I guess Vince McMahon didn't like him because, screw Cedric Alexander,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
I was when I heard that Paul Heyman wanted Cedric as a guy, as one of the main guys, I was hoping for it, but then backstage politics.
Yep.
Well, Vince anyways.
Well, yeah, Vince, backstage politics, whatever you want to say. I wish Cedric got pushed by Paul Heyman. He deserves so much better, in my opinion. But then we move on to Hour 3. And going into Hour 3, this was a solid episode of Monday Night Raw. Hour 3 is always the big struggle, in my opinion.
Oh, it's always the big struggle. That's when people just start tuning it off, and then they just don't care. But tonight's episode in Hour 3, it really picked up a lot.
Yeah, especially that main event. We'll get to that main event, but we started off Hour 3 with Randy Orton, Angel Garza, and Andrade versus The Big Show and the Viking Raiders. This match was not my cup of tea, I'm not going to lie. It was very slow, methodical, like a Randy Orton match. Randy Orton was running from The Big Show the entire time. Big Show did not get his hands on Randy Orton. Orton gave Garza a pep talk. He actually choked him to the plexiglass like the heel that Randy Orton is. And Randy Orton at the end picked up the win for his team with a RKO to Eric of the Viking Raiders, which actually today his wife, Sarah Logan, announced that she was pregnant. So congratulations to Sarah Logan and Raymond Rowe for getting a new child in the future. Big congratulations to them. But this six-man tag, what'd you think of the six-man tag?
Like you said, it was slow. It was kind of sloppy. Again, we're seeing issues between Angel Garza and Andrade. But when Randy Orton pulled Garza aside and hit him against the plexiglass, they just start clicking. Like, you know how the Revival were with Randy Orton.
Yes.
They had that pep. They were unstoppable when they had those two with Randy. And Randy, he's doing his best work in 2020, in my opinion.
Oh, dude, tell me about it. If they turn Randy Orton babyface ever again, I'm gonna lose it. I'm telling you right now.
Randy Orton does not need to be babyface. He can be heel for the rest of the year, and I would not complain.
Not even the rest of the year. For his entire career, he should never be a babyface again. But
yeah, because his babyface career has not been well. I prefer him as a heel.
I would have to agree.
So let's keep it at that.
Yep, let's go right there. But yeah, Orton picked up the win for his team, and I see Orton and Big Show going to a match against each other at Extreme Rules, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not a fan of it whatsoever. Just look at what they did in Survivor Series 2013. That match was horrible, so if that has any indication to what they're going to do at Extreme Rules, I'm not excited whatsoever.
Oh, neither am I. We're Big Show and WWE in 2020 is not what we need. But, you give what you take, I guess. Lead up to SummerSlam or whatever they have planned for Orton then.
I'm hoping the WWE Championship.
If Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton, that will steal SummerSlam, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I think that should be the direction they're going into for SummerSlam, because that's the only challenger that Drew McIntyre needs for SummerSlam. Well, he did bring up Aleister Black earlier, though, so either Randy Orton or Aleister Black should be facing Drew McIntyre for the championship at SummerSlam, in my opinion.
And I couldn't agree more.
Yep. Moving on really quickly, we saw Billie Kay versus Ruby Riott. This went 3 minutes. Billie Kay of the Iconics got the victory over Ruby Riott. And you might not believe when I say this, but since Ruby Riott has returned, she is 0-12 since her return from injury on Monday Night Raw. I would like to know when her contract is up.
In my opinion, I agree with you. But if we see what the direction they're going with Liv Morgan and Ruby, like for the tag titles or whatever, I want to see it. But we'll see what happens in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we'll see what happens between this whole storyline going on with the Iconics, Ruby Riott, and Liv Morgan. It's whatever, but Billie Kay picks up the victory over Ruby Riott. Before we get into the main event match here, we had a backstage interview with Asuka and Kairi Sane, where they announced next week they are challenging Bayley and Sasha Banks for the Women's Tag Team Championships next week on Monday Night Raw. You're getting a thumbs up from me on that one. What do you think about the announcement? Next week, Women's Tag Team Championships, Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Sasha Banks and Bayley.
Oh, honestly, I think it will be a great match. Like, we are going to get either the main event or, whenever they have the match, it will be great because, they're just doing a good... Bayley and Sasha are doing a good job right now as tag team champions. They're basically making those belts relevant. When we haven't, they weren't even relevant to begin with. Like, we've been complaining about it, but I think those four women will definitely steal the show.
I would have to agree with you there. Main event, we saw Asuka, the Raw Women's Champion, versus Bayley, the SmackDown Women's Champion. This match, not counting the 2 commercial breaks, this was a very good women's match. And even though I don't like champion versus champion matches whatsoever, I think WWE hands them out like they're just candy at a candy store, in my opinion. But this was a very good women's match between Asuka and Bayley. Your thoughts?
Yeah, the Bayley versus Asuka match was very good, and let's just say that the women are basically helping WWE right now, and they are basically carrying them on their backs, and I'm all for it. I'm enjoying every single minute of watching Bayley and Asuka, and Sasha Banks or Kairi Sane. No matter what you put, that match stole the show. That match was really good. I enjoyed it. I think it was worthy of the main event.
I would have to agree with you. Probably the match of the night, in my opinion, was Asuka and Bayley.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they basically gave 100%, and like they do every night. And you just can't. You gotta be happy for Bayley has a good heel run. When she turned heel, that was basically putting her career up in an upward position. Asuka has been fantastic as champion, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would. She's had a good run as the women's championship. I'm sure her match at Extreme Rules with Sasha Banks is going to be a great match. Probably the match I'm looking forward to the most. In my opinion, the match I'm looking forward to the most at Extreme Rules. But at the end, Bayley got distracted by Nikki Cross pounding on the plexiglass, distracting Bayley. Asuka put in the Asuka lock. Bayley reversed it. Asuka rolled up Bayley, and Asuka defeated Bayley to close out the show. And we close out Monday Night Raw with Asuka and Kairi Sane standing tall. Thoughts on the result of Asuka beating Bayley tonight on Raw?
I think it was the right call, in my opinion, just to get them ready for next week. Because since they said if you win, we'll have the tag team title match, and then we'll see where it goes from there afterwards. But honestly, good match, good result. I'm all for it.
I'm for it too. It should be a good match, tag team title match next week. And that's it for the Monday Night Raw review tonight, right here on the Big Fight Field channel. Like I said earlier, decent show tonight, don't you think, right?
Oh, it was definitely a decent show. I mean, it was less of the comedy skits that they usually do, but I'm glad that they reduced that a little bit, and focused more on the action.
Hey, no ninjas tonight, no Nia Jax tonight. You got a thumbs up from me. Yeah. But that's your Monday Night Raw review tonight here on the Big Fight Field channel. I want to thank you guys for watching this video tonight. If you have not already, subscribe right here on the Big Fight Field channel. We're at 142 subscribers. We're trying to get to 150 before Extreme Rules, as we are on the road to 200 subscribers here on the channel. So if you have not already, subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what you thought of tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Like this video if you enjoyed the review from me and Tim tonight. And then follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph and Instagram as well at Colin_Joseph. Tim, where can they find you on Twitter?
They can find me at I forget my Twitter name.
Just look up Tim Stiefvater on Twitter, and you should see him with the Corey Graves profile in the background. That's him. So
yeah,
that's him.
Just follow him on. If you follow him on Twitter, just
Yep. Any final words before you get out of here tonight?
I just want to say, it was, like I said, good Raw. I enjoyed it. It was not like last week's where it was just like, but very enjoyable. And I want to say I'm happy to be on here. It was enjoying talking to you about this review, and hopefully we can do it again soon.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it again sometime later in the year. That's it for the Raw review tonight. I'm getting out of here. Tim's getting out of here. And I'll see you guys Wednesday night for Fyter Fest Night 2 review right here on the Big Fight Field channel. Have a good night. Stay safe.